This is the feature that everyone has been anticipating for the Ledger Nano X hardware wallet, and that is Bluetooth connectivity and a mobile app for Ledger Live. What is up, Hash Nation? I'm pretty stoked about this new Ledger Nano X hardware wallet and what it could potentially mean for the usability of hardware wallets in mainstream crypto markets. So we're talking about what to expect from Ledger Nano X and my thoughts about whether or not you should consider picking one up for yourself. Let's hash it out. Now, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know I've done a lot of videos about Ledger Nano S during the times when the updates were taking forever, people were facing issues. That was one of the first videos for me that really got traction, and I thank each and every one of you who may or may not have watched that for being here, watching my content, and spending time with me on this channel. Thank you, truly it means a lot. That said, the Ledger Nano S was a great hardware wallet. I own one myself. With this Ledger Nano X, they're looking to address some of the flaws and the criticisms that were laid towards the Ledger Nano S and make it even easier and more secure for people to trade their crypto and store it long term. So let's dive into the details. First and foremost, the Ledger Nano X has upgraded their secure chipset that stores your private keys on board, which is the same tech that is used in credit cards and passports, so you know that it has been battle tested over several years. The Ledger Nano X also features a wider screen so that you can view more transaction details, and now thankfully you can see the entire receiving address when you are sending cryptocurrency, which is very important for the security of your transactions. It features USB-C as the connector over the traditional micro USB of the Ledger Nano S, and it features a built-in battery that is going to allow you to use the Ledger Nano X on the go for several hours, and it will even last for weeks in standby mode without having to recharge the device. The Nano X also features the same 2-button navigation system that we saw on the Nano S, but the buttons, instead of being on top, are now larger, more ergonomic looking buttons on the face of the device, which to me looks like an improvement over the old Nano S module, because I will say I have relatively large hands and it was kind of annoying to have to click those buttons all the time on the top because they were really small. Obviously, we'll see at launch whether or not those are better and an improvement over those top side buttons. One of the main gripes that I had with the Ledger Nano S was onboard storage, and I know a lot of people shared this gripe with me. It's one of those things where I found myself having to delete apps constantly so that I can manage all of my cryptocurrencies because there was such limited storage on the device to store apps that I could interact with the Ledger Nano S and the blockchains with. And with the Ledger Nano X, they have drastically improved the onboard storage and hopefully not compromise security in any way in doing so. The claim on the website for the Ledger Nano X is that it can hold up to 100 unique cryptocurrency apps in the onboard storage for the device, which is a drastic improvement from really the 10 to 15 applications best case scenario that you could store on the Ledger Nano S. Out of the 1,100 plus different cryptocurrencies that are supported by the Ledger Nano X, having the ability to use 100 apps or so and probably even more cryptocurrencies supported within those apps, I think that's a pretty good start, but hopefully they continue to improve after launch. Ledger has committed to adding new cryptocurrencies every month, but you can definitely check out what they're supporting now and at launch by following the link in the YouTube description and the comments below. However, this is the feature that everyone has been anticipating for the Ledger Nano X hardware wallet, and that is Bluetooth connectivity and a mobile app for Ledger Live. Now, what this means is that rather than being tethered to a computer, whether that's your laptop, your desktop, whatever, you now no longer need a computer to use your Ledger Nano X device. Because it has an onboard battery, because it is Bluetooth capable, and because you can store a larger number of apps, you can now connect over to your phone via Bluetooth on the Ledger Live iOS or Android app, and you can manage your cryptocurrencies. You can send or receive cryptocurrency within that application and manage your assets overall. Now, that is not to say that if you don't want to use your phone, that you can't use your computer or you can't use your laptop in general, but it's just now another option for you to more conveniently manage your crypto assets on the go. Now, without compromising security, of course, because the Ledger Nano X is still, of course, going to store your private keys on the secure chipset on the device and never expose them to your phone or your computer. And that is the key. These things are cold storage for a reason. You don't want your private keys to be exposed to the web. You don't want it to be exposed to your machine, whether that be your computer or your phone. And that is still not the case. You are still not going to expose your private keys. That's the whole point of a hardware wallet. If you guys want to test out the Android or iOS app before the Ledger Nano X hardware reaches the market, you can download that by January 28th. That's the estimated release date for the app. And you can check that out. I'm going to do a review on this channel ahead of the launch of the device so that we can look through it and see what we can expect. Guys, question of the day, let me know in the YouTube poll above what you think of the Ledger Nano X. Are you a fan? Are you not liking it very much? Or do you not really care in general? Definitely interested in hearing your thoughts after the announcement of this new hardware wallet. That said, if you want to get one of these bad boys for yourself and potentially upgrade from a Ledger Nano S, or just if you don't even have a hardware wallet and you want to finally splurge and get one, I always recommend it. It's a best practice. If you have crypto on exchange, get as much of it off as you can. If you have it on your computer in non-cold storage, get that over to cold storage. That's my recommendation. No pressure. This isn't financial advice. It's just a best practice, in my opinion, for crypto holdings. But right now, the Ledger Nano X is available on Ledger's website, which I will link below for you to check out, for $119 US. Obviously, if you're in pounds or euros, it will be a slightly different price, but it's $119 US. The device is slated to ship in March of 2019. Definitely keep watching that website and watching my channel to see if anything changes on that front. But in the meantime, you can pre-order the device, you can test out the mobile app on January 28th, and furthermore, you can also expect the Ledger Nano S to see a price reduction when the Ledger Nano X does drop in March. So if you were waiting to get a Ledger Nano S, you don't need the mobile functionalities, you don't need the larger screen, you can go ahead and get a Ledger Nano S for less money after launch. So keep that in mind. For those of you who are going to be upgrading your Ledger Nano S to a Ledger Nano X, it is actually very easy to move all of your current holdings over to that Ledger Nano X without having to physically send them one by one or manually from each wallet, because if you have your 24-word seed phrase safely and securely backed up on that little piece of paper or one of your steel hardware wallet devices, you can go ahead and punch that into your Ledger Nano X when you get it, and it will load up all of the wallets from your Ledger Nano S. Then you can keep your Ledger Nano S in a safe, secure backup just in case you lose your Ledger Nano X. You can get rid of it, you can sell it. I don't think most people would buy it because they don't want to risk their crypto, but you could always try. That being said, it's really easy to migrate from your Ledger Nano S over to your Nano X. I know that was long-winded, but you get the point. Here are a few things I'm hoping for at the launch of Ledger Nano X. Number one, first and foremost, if you've watched my channel, you know the update process for the Ledger Nano S was rocky at best. It was definitely difficult and people are still having issues doing it. I hope that they've overhauled the update process. I hope that they've made it easier and more fluid of a process to update the Ledger Nano X. That is my number one hope. And two, I hope that the launch of the mobile app is very smooth and that there aren't a lot of bugs going in. I wonder if it's going to be a port of Ledger Live from desktop over to mobile. It's hard to say right now, but I just hope it's a smooth launch and there aren't a bunch of bugs that prevent people from using the Nano X ahead of time. And number three, I think this applies to all hardware wallets. I hope that continued effort is put into supporting hard forks. I hope that continued effort is put into creating more apps and adding coin support down the line, because adoption is key. If you guys like hardware wallets, reviews, tutorials, etc., make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, your notifications are turned on, because I do lots of videos about crypto in general and those very hardware wallet reviews and tutorials that you love. And before you head out, make sure to check out some of my Token Talk Tuesday series and my Fact or FUD Friday series. I will leave that linked on the screen in front of you. You can click those bad boys and go check out some more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cheers.